advisors. And he's done that very well. When I started thinking about Stanley, though, and I was very well aware of the name of this organization, I thought I'd talk to you about him as a person, as a professional, and as a philanthropist. So he will be the first award winner to receive the PPP award from the PPP. Personally, Stanley, your friendship has meant a lot to me, and everybody knows that you're really a delightful personality. He's pleasant and engaging. When you're going to talk to him either about politics or the economy or the local situation, Stanley is somebody who is not only well informed but has a good opinion, but in a very happy, pleasant way can even differ with you on probably a better idea of a way to do things. So I've really enjoyed my time with Stanley. We meet in a group that's called the Club of Rome. I'm going to say that again because listen to how it sounds. The Club of Rome, as you know, is a philanthropic organization, mostly social workers and people involved in the population plethora that we have right now. And they meet, I think, in Rome about once, is it every 4 or 5 or 6 years, Stanley, and talk about high-powered things. And we meet about 3 or 4 times a year to talk about low-powered things. But we talk about things here in San Antonio. As a matter of fact, they are pretty high-powered, and there are people like Stanley and Dolph Briscoe are a member of it. I have a letter here from Dolph, Stanley, that I'd like to read you because he also has had the pleasure of being with you in both a personal way and a professional way. It says, "Dear Stanley, congratulations on being honored by the Partnership for Philanthropic Planning for your fine work in professionally advising your clients in their charitable giving. For many years, countless Texans have turned to you for help in their financial affairs and your expert counsel in making gifts to support charitable organization service to the citizens of our state. From our earliest days, even before our great cities were founded," now that's said by a guy from Uvalde, you got to remember. The great cities were founded. Texans have always been ready to help their fellow citizens in need. This spirit of generosity, so important in the early days of our history, is even more important today as we work together to build the Texas of tomorrow. All of us were truly blessed when John Peace chose a young counselor from Virginia to come to the Lone Star State to join his San Antonio practice. Your professional work as a Texan has been outstanding. With your help, many of our leading citizens have established significant charitable legacies that will benefit many in our state for a long time to come. Thank you for your faithful service to so many people who support our charitable organizations in Texas through their generous gifts. Dolph Briscoe, Governor, State of Texas." It's a real pleasure to join with him, Stanley, and laud you not just as a person. I want to tell you a little bit about Stanley. You wouldn't really, I think one of the words you might not think of him when you look at it is courage. And I want to tell you that guy showed more courage than most people I've seen when I used to see him about 15 or 20 years ago up at the Alamo Heights track when he was having serious problems with his back. And the work that he did, the sweat and the perspiration he put into keeping himself in condition and being a healthy individual is something that we can all be proud of. The man really has significant courage. As a professional, I think I don't have to talk to you about his skills. They're known all over. They're legendary. His work, well, I'll use the word, he excels. Excels means you're better than the next guy. Quality and skill are two things that I think of when I think of Stanley, and he is recognized for his professional abilities all over the country. The other thing I'd like to go to then is his position as a philanthropist. And I'm going to tell you, I am one that is really seriously, harshly offended by all the times I hear that word used in the newspapers in juxtaposition with somebody I've met. Because I think it has not been used correctly. We mostly use it in the newspaper as somebody that wrote a check. Well, yes, that's required, but if you looked at the dictionary, as I did, you'll now know, philanthropy comes from the Greek word philanthropia. It's a love for the fellow man. And I'm going to say that on that other P to present to you on Stanley, he has given both wealth and wisdom for the benefit of his fellow man, and the voluntary time he gives to promote Cuban welfare shows that he does have a true love for his fellow man as a kind and generous philanthropist. I'm going to say maybe the last big word that I'd like to say, and these are things that I really probably should have said to Stanley over the last 20, 30, 40 years I've known him, and that's virtue. That's another one that's a very good word that I don't think is used exactly correctly all the time, but it's really, virtue is a core of underlying values that contribute to a system of beliefs and ideas and opinions. Now listen to that. And if you don't think that, for you who know him, doesn't really personify Stanley Schoenbaum, he has a core of underlying values that contribute to his system of beliefs, ideas, and opinions. I'm saying you deserve this award and our everlasting gratitude, Stanley, and I want to finally say that I took these remarks and I ran them by Barry Block, the rabbi at Temple Bethel, and he approved of them and said that we could make copies and use them at your memorial service. And Barry then would not have to replay it. So you have our really significant esteem and gratitude and abiding friendship. So it's a special pleasure for me to present you with this Lifetime Leadership Award for advising many, many people in charitable giving. Stanley Schoenbaum. Stanley.